This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Nigerians in diaspora are once again calling for the right to vote in elections while residing outside the country. This has been a recurrent request for years now, and despite the consistency of the request, electoral reform has continued to overlook the matter of diaspora voting. For more on this today, I'm joined by Collins Nweke, who is Chairman Emeritus of Nigerians in Diaspora Europe. Good morning and welcome to the conversation, Mr. Nweke.
Very good morning to you, Nabila. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Let me start with what has possibly informed the most recent calls for diaspora voting.
Well, it has been an ongoing conversation, and it was heightened recently by the voting down of the bill to establish diaspora voting through constitutional reform. The Ninth Assembly disgracefully voted it down, and that has actually had, the opposite effect of what was intended, which was actually to subdue the diaspora. If it has done anything, it is the fact that it has actually re-energized the Nigerian diaspora, but also friends and allies of Nigerian diaspora, both within the legislature, but also the civil society organizations that have joined forces to say, no, it is a disgrace that while smaller countries of the world, in Africa, as a matter of fact, are instituting diaspora voting, Nigeria has now got to play some sort of catch-up. It's not right. And so the renewed energy, is what we are seeing now. And the last of which was during the just concluded Diaspora Day on the 25th of July this year.
Now, if as of this point, it doesn't seem like lawmakers might approve let's use the word approve for now, right? Might approve diaspora voting. It begs the question of how much lobbying, how much Nigerians in diaspora actually have support of Nigerians back here at home, civil society organizations that engage with electoral reform. Speak to us on where that is. What are the conversations right now? Why isn't it happening?
The reason it isn't happening is the perennial, unfounded fear of the Nigerian legislators that diaspora voting will not be in their personal interest. Because they look at the diaspora as a force to be reckoned with, good for the diaspora remittances that is doing wonders in Nigeria. I mean, in terms of diaspora voting diaspora remittances surpassing oil revenue in some years. So they want to see the diaspora as, the cow that could be milked, but, giving them the opportunity to be part and parcel of, political discourse, political decisions in Nigeria is something they fear might actually, not work in their favor in terms of not being able to manipulate the diaspora electorate, and so the diaspora being in a position to probably actually tilt the election one way or the other. That's number one. Number two, you will hear some of them make some excuses about the fact that Nigeria is not ready yet for diaspora voting. They are still struggling to get it right in national election. Nothing could be further than the truth about that, because diaspora voting is happening everywhere in the world, and Nigeria, as a matter of fact, is actually helping some African countries to organize their diaspora voting in Nigeria. Nigerian diaspora are actually helping to play key roles in certain economies where they are actually electoral umpires, elections, officials and all of that. So the capacity to organize it is there. we are dealing with a biometric, so collection of data of Nigerians in diaspora is not a problem anymore, because every Nigerian in diaspora, or at least the vast majority of them, have their Nigerian passport. So capturing their data is not an issue. So those are simply excuses to justify, a fear that is unfounded and indeed irrelevant.
Do you have any hopes, based on these challenges that you've just mentioned, are there hopes that the next electoral reform that we might undertake will actually consider this more seriously?
Well, there are signs that, more seriousness is being shown. The current House Committee Chairman on Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Tochukwu Okere, is actually doing his bit. I believe that NICOM as well, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, is as well doing the best it can. I mean, there has to be some sort of reprioritizing of this particular issue, because we do need to understand that diaspora voting can only pass if there is a across the board cross-party collaboration. A situation where where they concentrate on lobbying only one party in the House does not work. It's not going to fly. You need a 2/3 of legislators to pass it, and not a single party in Nigeria controls 2/3 of either the upper house or the lower house. So there's got to be, cross-fertilization of competencies and efforts to make this happen. So diaspora did come. The House Committee, the Senate Committee, and the diaspora themselves collaborating is the only way that this can be, passed.
Mr. Nweke, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your thoughts on this matter. Collins Nweke is Chairman Emeritus of Nigerians in Diaspora Europe, joining me to discuss the latest calls for diaspora voting that has been made by Nigerians in the diaspora. Of course, we'll be continuing to monitor these conversations, especially around the electoral reform, here on the show. In the meantime, we'll be taking a quick break. When we return, we're keeping up with the National Assembly.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
What's in the headlines?
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.